My marriage to Liam Sterling was a merger, a union of two dynasties. On the night we signed the papers at City Hall, he stood by the floor minus to minus ceiling windows of his penthouse smoking one cigarette after another. Then he told me he was in love with someone else. A girl he described as poor but resilient, a wildflower growing in the cracks of the city pavement. I was quiet for a moment. I didn't tell him that I'd been quietly in love with him for years. Instead I asked, so what happens now? He gave a small, humorless smile, the city lights glinting in his cool gray eyes. Give me 2 years. I won't be the man whose life is dictated by others forever. His voice was low, cutting. Then, we'll divorce. But don't worry, he added, a gesture toward magnanimity. I'll make sure you and the Calloway family are compensated. I agreed. But when that day finally came, he was the one who wasn't ready to let go. 3 months into my marriage with Liam, I finally saw her. Ava, it was my birthday. The Sterling family had been planning the party for half a month. The venue, the catering, the champagne, everything was the absolute best. I overheard someone whisper, old man Sterling really treasures his new grand auto minus and minus law. Every person with any real power in New York must be in this room tonight. They weren't wrong. And yet, even in a room full of power and precision, things go wrong. The crystal chandelier directly above me began to fall. In that split second, the only other person in its path was a waitress clearing glasses. The room erupted into chaos. I was already moving to get out of the way when I saw Liam cut through the crowd, his eyes fixed, his expression urgent. He was rushing toward the danger. And then he ran right past me and grabbed the waitress, pulling her into his arms. The final to blow was this: my arm sliced open by a shard of falling crystal, and the waitress held tightly in Liam's protective embrace. I had never been so publicly humiliated in my life. It only lasted a second. Liam seemed to register what had happened, releasing the woman and rushing to my side. He scooped me up and carried me out of the ballroom and straight to the hospital. To the rest of the world, the incident was smoothed over, a husband's frantic concern for his injured wife. When I woke up, Liam was standing by the window of the private hospital room, his back to me, talking on the phone. You shouldn't have come today, he was saying, his voice low and tight with emotion. If you had been hurt, what would I have done? A pause. This thing with her, it will end. I promise. Just wait for me, okay? Just 2 sentences. That's all it took for me to understand. The waitress was Ava, the woman he wanted to marry but couldn't. He turned then and saw my eyes were open. A flicker of relief crossed his face. I tried to smile, but my mouth wouldn't cooperate. He walked over to the bed, one eyebrow slightly raised. You're awake. I managed a nod. In the 3 months since we'd signed the papers, our interactions had been polite, professional, like two colleagues sharing office space. We'd barely spoken since our wedding night. The silence in the room now was absolute. Finally, he broke it. You're not going to ask for an explanation? I don't need one, I said, my voice flat. I know who she is. A small, almost bitter smile touched his lips. You're just as smart as you were in high school. After he left, my best friend, Jessica, came to visit. The Sterling mansion is in total chaos, she said, fluffing my pillows. But I have to say, the way Liam carried you out of there, he looked terrified. Is this a secret romance, an enemies minus to minus lovers situation? I'm so happy for you, Claire. When you first got married, I was so worried. But now, I think it's only a matter of time before you conquer that untouchable man. Sunlight streamed through the window. I thought about an hour before the party, when I'd been opening gifts in our bedroom. Liam's was the last one I opened. It was a necklace from Tiffany's. A delicate, beautiful thing. I put it on immediately. And just before the chandelier fell, I had seen it, a bracelet from the same iconic blue box on Ava's wrist. My surprise gift was just something HED picked up while buying a real gift for someone else. I've already agreed to it, I said, suddenly, my voice quiet. We're getting divorced in 2 years. Jessica shot up from her chair, her eyes wide with a mixture of shock and anger. What? Why are you insane? Is he cheating on you? Is that it? I managed a weak smile. It wasn't like that. Liam wasn't that type of man. In fact, he was fiercely protective of Ava's reputation. He loved her quietly, terrified that the vultures in our world would find her, pick her apart, or tarnish her name. Besides me, only his closest circle of friends knew he had fallen for a woman so far outside our social stratosphere. No, I said, and as for why, I can't tell you yet. But it's decided.